What's up, guys? Welcome to the South Shore Songwriter Spotlight Series. My name's Adam Frates. I'm going to be your host. I'm going to be talking with local songwriters from right here on the South Shore. We're going to be kicking things off with my good friend John DeBellis. John and I are actually in the studio right now, currently recording a song that we co-wrote, and it's great to have you here. How's it going, John?
Hey, Adam. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, thank you so much for being here with us. It's an honor to have you. I'm excited to have some people who may not know you already get to know you and your music. So let's get to know a little bit about you. How long have you been writing and playing music?
So I've been playing music for about 17 years, writing and playing. When I first started, I would say I would write music all the time, just getting all the ideas that I can out on paper. More recently, I've been focusing more on my live sets as I play out frequently, but I still probably write about 2 to 3 songs a year at this time, but trying to get more into the writing and the creativity of expressing my words and getting my lyrics out there as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love it. That's what it's all about, the creative process, really putting yourself out there through your lyrics and through your melodies. It's such a cool thing writing songs from start to finish. I have a ton myself, but I'm really curious to know, who are some of your major influences when you're writing and creating music?
Biggest music influencers, I would say, is probably Andrew McMahon, best known from Jack's Mannequin. I think his songwriting skills and the way he makes a song so catchy every time is second to none. Although he's not exactly the style of music I play myself, being the more kind of reggae island vibes. I just think anything he writes is phenomenal and easy to listen to. I could pretty much listen to any of his albums beginning to end. Plus, I just like him as a person. I think he's a really down-to-earth guy. He seems very real, and definitely a big influence of mine over the years.
Awesome. I'm actually not super familiar with Andrew McMahon, but I'll definitely be checking him out. That's what it's all about, finding new music, hearing new music, and spreading it out to the world. So I got one third and final question for you, John, and that is, if you could write a song with anybody, present or past, who would it be and why?
So if I were to write a song with anyone, present or past, I mean, it's hard not to say Bob Marley, just due to the style of music that I like in general, and such a pull that he had on the world, really. I mean, there's only one Bob Marley. You think reggae, you think of this one person, so I think he would be obviously number one. But other than that, I would love to be a little bit more experimental and work with the Killers. I've always loved them as well, and I think they put together some really catchy music, and they have all the cool effects. And again, not if I wanted to step outside my comfort zone, I think I would want to work with the Killers.
Nice. Those are 2 great answers. I'm obviously a huge Bob Marley fan myself, a huge fan of reggae music in general. Reggae music is kind of what connected me and you, so that's really cool. And with the Killers, I love it. That's, something that would be out of left field for me too, but I love their synths. I love their effects. Their first record you can pretty much listen to start to finish, so that's amazing. 2 great choices. And thank you, John. Thank you for your music. Thank you for your time. It's been really cool talking music with you and having you be part of this South Shore Songwriter Spotlight series. So thank you so much, John DeBellis. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Some of us don't have tomorrow, so live this life when you can. Can't you see it is me? It is not me if you let it be. Don't go chasing tomorrow.
All right, we are back. Joining us up next is my good friend Valerie Barretto. She's a country singer-songwriter from right here on the South Shore. In 2024, Val was nominated for not 1, not 2, but 3 New England Music Awards. Absolutely amazing. And she has 2 full-length albums that you can find on all streaming platforms. Be sure to check those out. And you can catch Val 5-6 nights a week playing out live right here on the South Shore. What's up, Val?
Hey, what's up, Adam? Thanks so much for having me. My name is Valerie Barretto. I'm a local singer-songwriter here in the South Shore. Jumping into these questions, how did I get into music and songwriting? As far as music, I've been involved in music as far as I can remember. I was in theater productions when I was a little kid. I started taking guitar lessons in high school. I started taking vocal lessons even before that. I went to college for music. So music really has always just naturally been a part of my life. Songwriting, however, I was never originally a songwriter. I was more so, dare I say, a poet. Being so humble. But no, I would always write poetry, and I would always keep journals. And eventually that poetry kind of led into a songwriting segue. And it wasn't until I realized I wanted to go along the country route that my songwriting actually kind of fell into its place. Just the storytelling of it and the way that genre of music kind of allows you to tell a story in your own way and be as gritty as possible. I loved that about it. So yeah, music has been a part of my life since I can remember, and songwriting, it just transformed over the years, I guess you can say, from more of a poetry journaling side into a songwriting side.
That's amazing. It sounds like you've been around music your entire life. I also come from a music background, a music family. I have a bunch of musicians in my family, and I also love country music. I like some of the older stuff, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash. As far as newer country, Chris Stapleton, Eric Church, that type of stuff. Just the songwriting runs very deep, like you mentioned. Storytelling, it's really cool with country music. I've been lucky enough to see you perform live and hear a bunch of your original songs, which are amazing and very deep. When you're writing those songs, what's your favorite part of the songwriting process?
So my favorite part of the process is the way songwriting can be so cathartic, I guess. It's not part of the physical process, but I guess it's part of the mental process of it all. Songwriting has been there in a lot of different points in my life, very high, very low. And I have one song that says, I've learned to put the heartache into the songs that I sing. And it's true. You put your heart and soul into these songs, and in the meantime, it's like, much cheaper than a therapist, I guess. But no, it's so cathartic in an outlet to get your emotions on this paper, and it helps work through everything you may be going through. And I mean, you may not be going through anything, and but I mean, these days everybody has something, and for me this has been an amazing outlet. And I've got 2 full records of songs that I just worked through stuff, and it's exactly that. So I don't know if that question was driven more towards the actual physical side of songwriting, but that's that's the philosophical side of it a little bit, I guess.
Awesome, great answers. It's true. Music is therapy. Music is gets us through stuff when we're writing, when we're listening to it. For us musicians and for people just on the receiving end of music, it's very healing. So that's amazing. And I got one last question for you, Val. Again, thank you so much for being here. This question, again, is about your songwriting. What's your favorite personal song that you've written, and why?
My favorite song, the first one that comes to mind, is Another Love Song. I wrote that in a time in my life when I was falling in love again, and I had just gone through a very, very emotional breakup, very tough, and this was years later, and I started falling for someone again, and it's about the fear of falling in love again, and the fear of being vulnerable again, the fear of, letting your boundaries down and giving your heart to someone else, in the fear that they're just going to break it too. I feel like on like a musician side of things, it showcases my voice really well. But the lyrics to it mean a lot, and I would say that has to be it, maybe. But then there are other songs like South Dakota Sunset, which have such an emotional meaning behind, like, it's about a road trip with my two best friends, you know, and every time I sing that song, I'm just transformed right back into that moment. And then there's songs like Lucky Ones that is pretty much a very, very candid view into my life and the steps that brought me to where I am today. So that's really a tough question. You know, all my songs kind of resonate in some way, shape, or form, but like I said, the first one that comes to mind was Another Love Song. So you can check all that out on all the streaming things, Apple Music, Spotify, under Valerie Barretto. But just want to say thanks so much, Adam, for having me on this project. I'm super excited, and yeah, thanks again.
You're very welcome. It's been amazing having you here with us on this first episode of the South Shore Songwriters Spotlight Series. Everybody go check out Valerie Barretto. You can find her on Instagram, on Facebook. You can find her playing live all over the South Shore. Val, thank you so much for your time, for your music. We'll talk soon. Peace. All right, we are back. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the first episode of the South Shore Songwriters Spotlight Series. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my two guests, John DeBellis and Val Barretto. You can check them both out all over the South Shore. Give them a follow on social media. Check out a show. You won't be disappointed. And also, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. This is something that's brand new to me. It's been a lot of fun talking music. We have some awesome stuff coming up for episode 2. We have some events that we're going to be planning, and there's so much more to come. Thank you so much, guys. Peace.